Hello students, so we have already done the introduction of the poem After Blenheim. Now let us do the poem line by line. So now the poem After Blenheim by Robert Southey. Okay, so as you all can see it here, after. So here the preposition that is after has been used, and why is because the poet discusses the aftermath of the battle fought at the small village named Blenheim between French and England, where England had won. Okay, so now let us do the poem line by line. It was a summer evening. Old Caspar's work was done, and he before his cottage door was sitting in the sun. And by him spotted on the green, his little grandchild Wilhelmine. Okay, so we see that the poem begins with the scene of a summer evening. Okay, summer evening is basically is the time when most people return from work. Okay, evening is the time, isn't it? So, and it also tells us that it is summer season. Okay, when days are long and we have got tiring summers. Okay, and we see an elderly farmer named Caspar. His work was also done, and he was sitting and relaxing in the sun before his cottage door, watching his little granddaughter, Wilhelmine, who was playing in the green field. Okay, there was a green patch of field in front of his cottage, therefore, his granddaughter, Wilhelmine, was playing there and he was watching her play. Okay, so now the next stanza. She saw her brother Peterkin roll something large and round, which he beside the rivulet, in playing there had found. He came to ask what he had found that was so large and smooth and round. Okay, so as Wilhelmine was playing, she saw her brother Peterkin rolling something large and round, okay, which he had found beside the rivulet, which means a small stream, while playing there. Okay, and Peterkin, out of curiosity to find out what it was, takes that round thing to his grandfather, that is old Caspar. Okay, so here the poet creates a suspense in the second stanza by not telling the readers directly as to what it was, what the round and smooth and large thing was. Okay, instead he describes it as something large and round. Okay, so now the next stanza. Old Caspar took it from the boy, who stood expectant by, and then the old man shook his head, and, with a natural sigh, "It is some poor fellow's skull," said he, "who fell in the great victory." Okay, so here the great victory is referring to the battle in which the English defeated the French, that is the Battle of Blenheim. Okay, so here, old Caspar, who was observing his grandchildren's action till now, took that round thing from the boy, who was unaware and inexperienced, and was standing by his grandfather expecting to get a reply. And here, expecting to get a reply also shows the faith of the young child towards his grandfather's knowledge and experience. Okay, but this also proves to be an irony later on, because Caspar, despite knowing the horrors of war and being well experienced, ignores the purpose of war and does not speak against it. Okay, so here, after having a brief look at it, old Caspar shook his head with a natural sigh, means he feeling sorry or sad, and replied that it was a skull of some poor man who was killed in the war, that is, in the Battle of Blenheim, or in the great victory, as per to the old Caspar. So the next stanza, I find them in the garden, for there is many here about, and often when I go to plough, the ploughshare turns them out. For many thousand men, said he, who were slain in that great victory. Okay, so here we see Caspar in these lines says that how he regularly finds them, that is such kind of objects, okay, like skulls, while plowing the fields. Okay, as the plowshare brings them out with the soil to the surface. So he means to say here is along with the soil, the plowshare turns out the human skulls also. Okay, and he continues saying that the Battle of Blenheim led to the death of not one or two, but many thousand men were killed in that great victory and whose corpses lie deep scattered in the field.